This is episode 2 of Louder Than Words. Let's get into it. These past few days have taken what used to be the calm and peaceful existence of a mere high school student such as me and transformed it into a chaotic thrill ride of social experiences. It's as if life decided to gather all my social struggles over a year, compress them, and present them to me this week. Then again, perhaps my life as a whole lacked these core aspects and desperately needed them for it to reach the standard of a normal human being.
Good morning, Luis.
Morning. To what do I owe the pleasure of an early visit?
I don't know, I just felt like it. We should get going before it's too late.
By the way, have you finished writing today's essay?
Not really, I was planning on finishing it yesterday after school, but then you came over and I totally forgot.
Okay, fuck you, Natsumi. You literally invited me, I'm pretty sure. She's blaming me even though it was her idea, but whatever.
I also kind of had trouble sleeping, I don't know, I think my mind was really preoccupied after all that.
Oh really? I also had trouble sleeping. But perhaps not for the same reasons. As humans, we always tend to let our minds wander a bit, which often leads us to seek a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in this world. So in a way, existentialism, I'm gonna kill myself. No. Stop putting these fucking giant ass words for no fucking reason, shitty ass game. So in a way, existentialism is actually a subset of humanism because we're always led to think of ourselves as the most intelligent species on Earth, whether this is true or not. That's all for today. Oh, before you go, don't forget chapters 4 and 5 for next week. Typically, I'd be headed home right now. However, today is the first club meeting since I already officially joined, so I have to attend this one. There's about half an hour left before the meeting, but the club room should already be open, so I might as well go there and wait. Oh, hi, Luis. Hey, I see you came early. Yeah, I really didn't want to miss my first club meeting here, so I played it safe. So, how's our school so far? Pretty nice, right? Yeah, I guess so. It's nicer than my previous one, but mainly because there are fewer students here. I see. By the way, when Natsumi introduced me to you, you two seemed like good friends. I was just wondering, where did you know her from? It's true that we've known each other for quite a while. After all, we've attended the same middle school. However, my father had to move closer to Tokyo for a job opportunity, so I ended up having to attend another school. In the end, it didn't work out for him, and we're back here. Oh, so that's why you transferred at this time of year. I was also wondering, I remember seeing you hanging out with Yuriko, so I assume you also know her from there. Indeed. How about you? You also seem to know Natsumi pretty well, even more than I do. Where did you meet her? She lives in the same street as me, so I know her like I know the rest of the neighborhood since childhood. The various club members made their entrance, followed by the leader shortly after. I can only give a continue this later look to her.
I would like to start off the official 14th meeting of the Film Club by welcoming our newest member, Komori Sayori.
Mars, as you know,
the 2 weeks ahead of us represent a crucial time for us, so unlike last year, we should take this seriously. First, on Monday, the 8th, we'll be embarking on a field trip to Hakone, during which we will be shooting our school festival submission, so I must remind you to bring all your equipment. Also, we will be doing it on a fixed schedule, so don't take up another activity during that time unless absolutely necessary. Second, the school festival will be held starting on Monday the 15th, and everybody's presence apart from that editing team is mandatory. We will have to entertain our guests by showing various movies and holding discussion forums, so we'll need as many of you as present as possible. Also remember to bring as many people as you know to our booth. Alright, with that, the 14th Film Club meeting is dismissed. I would like for the camera crew to stay so we can go over the details of next week's shoot, and the rest of you are free.
That's it? How about the monthly club strategy role assignment and other discussions?
There's no need for that, as this will be our last meeting for the year. Next week is the field trip, after which there is a festival, and finally, the end of the year. Oh, and Sayori, I also need you to stay to discuss something.
Natsumi sits next to Sayori and brings up a folder containing details of the club's upcoming movie, which gets me a bit curious. After all, I wasn't really told why we were recruiting Sayori, just the fact that she was perfect for the club. So, I might as well stay a little and hear her proposition.
So you see, we're shooting a sort of experimental thriller, and the story follows a high school student getting lost in the woods during a field trip. Stare.
Why are you giving me that look?
Why are you still here? The meeting's dismissed.
I'm waiting for you so we could walk back home together.
Really? You should have said so.
That was close.
Anyway, I know you're a talented musician, so we would like to know if you could compose a score for our movie. We just need a couple of tracks to play during the key scenes, nothing too complex.
Sayori seems hesitant, but maybe this task is a bit too complex for her. Still, I see now that the reason Natsumi wanted to recruit our new classmate was specifically because of her supposed music talent, so failing that there might not be much she can do at this club. I could try, but don't expect too much. I don't have that much experience in composing as opposed to playing music.
I can't thank you enough for this. I knew I could count on you. Oh, and don't worry, it's still better having whatever you can make than whatever we could come up with.
One of last year's movie's biggest critiques was the lackluster soundtrack. So this time, she made sure we got our hands on someone with the knowledge in that field. Natsumi follows the statement with an explanation as to what kind of music she wants and discuss the details of the shoot with the camera crew. What was originally a short stay meant for me to see what kind of work she would give to Sayori and turned into an hour-long waiting session after a promise I made to her in order to hear what she was about to say. A new day arises. This would have been my standard school day, if not for one thing, lunch. I attended the usual morning lessons, slept through half of it, and was woken up by the teacher about half an hour before lunch. But when it comes to where I'm going to eat said lunch, I feel as though the usual cafeteria isn't going to cut it today. Perhaps I'm tired of the food, or the people, or even both, not to mention the noise there is almost unbearable. And so, I take matters into my own hands and head towards the nearby convenience store, which would allow me to pick up and eat food I want in relative tranquility. I'm a bit nervous since I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this, but I doubt anyone except Natsumi would notice my absence at the cafeteria. So this is where you're hiding during lunchtime. Oh, come on, I'm not hiding. I'm just getting a breath of fresh air away from that cafeteria. And a healthy dose of tobacco too, apparently. Yeah, whatever. You're not supposed to be here either. Don't you know you're not allowed to leave the club building, or the school building, until the last period? I could ask you the same thing. I happen to have special privileges as a student council president, so I get to do this, but not you. Sure. Well, anyways, I haven't seen you in a while. Care to explain why? We've just been so busy with the upcoming field trip, it's a nightmare to manage all this stuff. But if you're longing for me, you can come to the student council room, where I usually am during breaks, and I also eat there from time to time. I promise I'll take good care of you, if you know what I mean. That's good to know. Unfortunately, I don't have the same privileges as you, so I'll have to get going now, before anyone notices I'm gone. See you later. There's one thing left for this endeavor to be worth it, and that is a quiet place to eat. Through and through, I searched the building for an open club room or classroom devoid of noise, but the search doesn't return any results. It's only when I get to the abandoned old section of the school that almost the omnipresent ruckus during the lunchtime dies down. As I navigate the part of the school I know the least, I come across a familiar melody. Coming from directly ahead, what can only be described as a delightful sound with sprinkles of sullen undertone, all formed by the unmistakable timbre of a violin, enters my ears and leads me to the source. Isn't like that supposed to be timbre? Or maybe that is timbre, I just don't know what it means. A girl standing next to the window of an empty classroom. Not wanting to disturb her, I sit behind her and eat lunch in silence, waiting for her to finish playing. That was beautiful. I didn't know you were this talented. Luis, when did you... I just sat down, don't worry. Still, I never expected you to find you here. I'm only here because I'm not a fan of that cafeteria. So, this is where I usually eat. And as you saw, I also practice here with the time left before afternoon lessons. That was Ave Maria you were playing, right? I'm no classical musician, but out of the few pieces I know by name, it's one of my favorites. Yes, I found a solo violin arrangement for this piece online. I've been practicing it ever since. More importantly, I didn't think you would be into classical music, Luis. That's quite a surprise. Saying I'm into classical music is a big stretch. I just happen to like listening to it during the little time in which I study. However, I'm not going to confirm nor deny that claim in front of her. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like a bit of classical goodness from the time to time? Sadly, it seems not that many, especially in the younger generation, are aware of the greatness that lies within this treasure that is classical music. I love Beethoven. I couldn't have said it better myself. Do you play any instruments? Sadly, no. But I would love to. But since you're here, I would love for you to teach me the basics. Really? I mean, I can, but we don't have enough time to do anything serious. That's fine. Just teaching me how to hold and play a note would be enough. I've always been curious about this instrument, but I've never had the chance to touch one. Alright, well, to start off, place it on your shoulder with the lower back of the instrument on your collarbone and put your jaw on the chin rest. Like this. You're putting too much pressure on it. You don't need to crush it, just hold it steady. And now put your left hand under the top of the neck and hold it with your thumb. Make sure the other four fingers are arching over the strings in order to play the notes. I think I've got the hang of this. Alright, hold a string and pull the bow along it as straight as you can. Oh, and don't put too much pressure on it too. Here it goes. Damn. I think it's obvious that you have a lot of work to do, but I've heard worse performances, so that's that. Fucking asshole. And a nice way to put it. Thanks, I'm no virtuoso, but at least I've had a chance to play and find out. One last thing, could you play Ave Maria like you did before? I want to hear it one more time. Yeah, sure. And just like that, I'm once again temporarily taken to another world, one without any of my worries, one with this beautiful melody. If it were me, I would stay here all day instead of torturing myself through incomprehensible math lessons. Thanks for listening. Oh, please, I should be the one thanking you. Just hearing you play made my day. I'm glad I could play for you then. I must get going, or I'll be late to class. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. A new day arises. Although this was to be expected, today's lesson started in a much different way than usual. The teacher stepped in, followed by Yuriko, who was holding a folder titled Field Trip. Good morning, class. The student council president needs your attention for a moment, so please be quiet. Good morning, everyone. As you all know, the entire school will be going on a field trip next week to Hakone, and we're going to be staying there from Monday to Friday. We'll be staying at a hotel in groups of 2 per room, so you need to find a partner and write down your name next to the free room number on the sheet. I will be back by lunch to collect the sheet. By then, if you don't have a partner, you'll be randomly matched to another partner list per student. Excuse me? Yes? Can we select a partner from another class? Sure, you don't need to be in the same class to form a group. I've already teamed up with Arima, and I'm guessing Natsumi's going to ask Sayori. I'm guessing the student council members have special accommodations of some sort, so Yuriko's probably staying with them. Alright, I'll be back at noon. The class is now yours, teacher. Thanks, so I was saying, The teacher demands our attention to resume the lessons, prompting Arima to give me a look I know all too well. Today is the last day of the teachers are giving us lectures, as next week is the field trip, and this week after a school festival to end the year. And so we took out a sheet of paper and started our annual end of the year tic-tac-toe tournament. Lunchtime came faster than expected, with me having beaten Arima 92-90. What usually felt like hours passed like minutes during our intense competition. You're lucky this time. Next year won't be the same. Yeah, right.
Please hold on.
What is it?
I was just wondering what you're going to eat. I searched for you all over the place yesterday since you weren't at the cafeteria.
Oh, I just felt like eating somewhere else. I guess I was tired of cafeteria food.
If it's the cafeteria that's bothering you, you can come eat with me at another place.
Her offer is tempting, as I'm not sure where I'm going to eat. Maybe I could go to the old building and spend some time with Sayori, or I could hit up Yuriko's offer and eat at the student council room. I'm gonna go eat with Yuriko. I'm sorry, not to me. Hold this. Hold this L, not to me. Hold this rejection. I'm sorry, but I'm not really up for it. I'll see you later this afternoon. To say she looks disappointment is an understatement. I'm sorry, not to me. To be honest, she looks as though she's learned a painful truth and no longer views the world in the same way anymore. Alright, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but she certainly doesn't look happy. Anywho, now is certainly not the time for pity. I've decided I'm going to spend the time with Yuriko. I'm sticking with that.
See you later then.
Wow, I'm a fucking asshole. I make my way up the stairs to the 3rd floor where the student council resides. They usually also eat at the cafeteria, although I've never seen Yuriko there with them. For some unknown reason, that has nothing to do with her hiding anything. She prefers to spend her lunch breaks away from the top representatives of the student body. But oh well, who am I to judge? She was kind enough to invite me here, so I'm certainly not going to refuse such an offer. Granting entrance to myself into the room, I see Yuriko in the back, next to what looks like an unopened lunchbox. It's almost as if she was waiting for me to arrive. Take a seat, young Luis. You should have told me you were waiting for me. You made it sound like I could drop by any time, not that you were specifically waiting to eat with me. Coming this early must mean you want to eat lunch, right? And besides, I knew I could count on you showing up. That's a lot of confidence you're putting in me. I appreciate that. Well, if we don't trust each other, we won't get far. I see what you did there. Anyways, what do you have for lunch? Oh, nothing fancy, just some baked potatoes, onigiri, and some salad. And you? A bento box I picked up at the convenience store. Come on, Luis, you can do better than that. You should be eating fresh food, not prepackaged retail stuff. You didn't strike me as one who particularly cared about health. I care about you eating well, and plus, the benefits of eating fresh apply way beyond just being healthy. Regardless, I ended up eating unhealthy bento box while she indulged in her baked potatoes raving about the benefits of eating healthy. We ended up finishing quite early, which means we have a decent amount of time before afternoon lessons. Alright, I'm going on smoke break. You wanna come? Yeah, sure. I don't mind cigarette smoke, but I don't particularly like it either. I hope she doesn't just sit there and finish a pack or something. As I suspect, we leave the school through the back entrance and head towards the convenience store, which I assume must be her safe haven. You look intrigued, Luis. I'm not used to seeing high school students like you smoke, especially not around this area. I still don't really get the appeal. How about you try to find out? Are you good, Yuriko? Are you trying to peer pressure me, Yuriko? How about we fucking stop that, okay? Listen, I got no problem with you smoking, but you cannot force that upon me. How dare you? Oh no, I'm not brave enough for these sort of experiments. And I don't think it's a good idea. Come on, you never wanted to try. Yuriko, What the fuck did I just say, dog? Quit trying to peer pressure me. I would be lying if I said no, but at the same time, it feels wrong to me. You don't need to smoke a cigarette to find out. Enlighten me then. Here, I'll make it easy for you. She takes a good long drag, but doesn't breathe it in. Instead, she grabs my head and does that first aid mouth-to-mouth technique, making sure to expel all the smoke in my mouth. Holy shit, Yuriko. Yuriko, holy fucking shit. You give some fun dumb vibes right now, Yuriko. My body paused for a second and I could barely feel it entering my lungs. Oh my gosh. What is this? Are you mad? At first I was so shocked by what she did that I barely felt it enter my body. Once she removed herself from my face, I immediately started coughing, but not as much as I expected. It tasted somewhat dry and bitter, but I imagined it would be way worse, just off the odor it gives off. See, that wasn't so bad now, was it? That doesn't make it good though. What helped lessen the blow was certainly the method of delivery. It's my way of letting you experience it. Something akin to Sleeping Beauty's kiss. I don't know about that. It felt more like something Poison Ivy would do in her spare time. And you better have some strong chewing gum to hide the smell. Oh, don't worry. I'm used to dealing with that. I usually just chew this and put on some perfume. She gives me some cinnamon flavored chewing gum, which I must admit is way more intense than I expected. As we head back, my mind slowly starts processing what just had happened. I've just inhaled tobacco smoke for the first time in my life. What was she thinking? This girl is wild, that's for sure. In fact, now that I know a bit more, she's like the complete opposite of what her reputation touts her to be. In school, she's known as the hardworking honor student and kind but strict student council president. But once out of school grounds, she's like a totally different person. So different, in fact, that I'm simply astounded that none of this has tarnished her academic standing. I speed walk my way back to the classroom and manage to arrive with a minute to spare before the lesson starts. However, two things immediately stand out to me. The look Arima has been giving me and the absence of Natsumi. Hey Arima, what's going on? Where's Natsumi? She said she wasn't feeling well, so she went home. Where were you? I was eating with Yuriko, but if you could omit that information from Natsumi, it would be helpful to me. That won't be necessary. She came to the cafeteria on the verge of tears, saying you refused to eat with her. Do you know what that means to her? And she had even made lunch for you today. Guys, this is not good. How about you tell Natsumi, quit being a fucking crybaby, dog. Bro, come on, Natsumi, you really gonna cry over that? God damn it, I just more lunch for you, dog. Seriously? Okay, I may have exaggerated the tears part, but she was still pretty sad. Okay, thank God. Aw, shoot, I certainly didn't expect her to react like this. I'm going to have to make up for this during the weekend. Maybe I'll invite her to hang out or something. A fragment of my soul have just vanished hearing what I just heard. This time, however, there could be a logical explanation as to why I'm hearing this at this time of day, or night more precisely. A loud, constant humming echoing into the void like a coffee machine. You get the point. That's right, I'm back on the same plane as last time. I couldn't help but notice some details that were missing or didn't catch my attention last time, like the quiet atmosphere and the absence of the flight attendants. What's more, the screen in front of me is only on displaying the plane's trajectory, but in front of the black background instead of a map. Regardless, all of that can be considered negligible compared to the most important detail of all, the weird lady with white hair is back. I can't say I've missed her though, especially after what she did to me last time. Hey, long time no see, weird lady with white hair. Have you taken my advice into consideration? Huh? Oh, that's right. She did say something about filling the emptiness in my heart or whatever. My days are numbered, Luis. You need to find her as soon as possible. I've given you an opportunity to get close to her, so don't let it go to waste. Like last time, you're not making any sense. Who are you? Why do I keep having this dream? Well, I will tell you who I am in due time. For now, it is far too early. My time with you is unfortunately coming to a close. Until we meet again, I wish you all the best. I could sense a substantial change in atmosphere when she bid a farewell, something akin to the air getting heavier, or perhaps difference in air pressure. Nonetheless, I'm done here. She left me with many questions and no explanation. I can't possibly let her go now. Wait, I still have questions for you. I reach my hand to try and grab her attention, but the space between us suddenly grows wider as I reach farther. In a last-ditch effort, I plunge my whole body forward as I try and catch her like in the movies. But in the end, face down on the floor, and not the soft, warm floor of an airplane that I was expecting, but rather a hard wooden cold floor like one in my bedroom. After the rough start, I packed my bag, eat my breakfast, bid my family farewell, as I was going away for a year. For what? Going away for a year? And head towards the meeting point to start a long-awaited field trip. A very harsh morning, the sun beats down on my freshly awoken face. A little too harsh, in fact, so much that I can hardly imagine the situation at midday. I hear the sound of a front door opening in the distance, one pertaining to a familiar residence. A blonde girl with a parasol that I happen to know all too well walks into the street, also ready to start this amazing journey. Good morning.
Good morning, Luis.
What's gotten you into such high spirits?
The field trip, and seeing you, of course.
Well, I can't say I'm not looking forward to it. Can't wait to know what sort of activities we'll be doing and... Hold on, did you say seeing me?
Yeah, you. I'm looking forward to spending time with you at the hotel. I've even brought all sorts of game. I just hope we get enough free time in between or whatever they've planned for us.
That sounds like excellent. We could play with Sayori, as I heard you were sharing the room with her. Immediately after mentioning Sayori, her overwhelmingly joy transformed into a state of pouting, as if I just said something I shouldn't have. What's wrong?
I want to play with you, so please don't mention others when I'm talking to you.
Something must have happened between the two. Why else would she be mad when mentioning one of her friends? Alright, whatever. I just hope we can have a good time this week.
Don't worry, I'll make sure that we do.
At the extraction point, I realized just how messy this whole thing might turn out to be. There seems to be two buses, one for males and the other for females. As I understand, the school is separated into groups of 3 classes, each departing from this meeting point at a different time of day. My class is part of the first group, as well as Sayori's and Yuriko's, so we are first to depart from here. Morning, Arima. I see you're in a hurry to get in.
Oh, morning. No, I just don't have anything to do, so I might as well get in line now.
I see. Well, good luck with that. I myself am not so much in a hurry to wait in line, so I might as well go check out some shops. I know around here, while the lines move, I would in no way rush to get in line like Natsumi did. With this kind of hot weather, keeping myself hydrated and fresh is absolute necessity in order to properly endure the day, and so I get myself a bottle of soda as well as an ice cream. Looking outside, I could hardly see the line shrinking, so that was about all of the shopping I can do before I have to line up. Unfortunately, before I could even start rolling my eyes and getting into the waiting in line attitude, a black car pulls behind me in front of the window, slides down to reveal a familiar face. Hey Luis, I got a ride to the hotel. Wanna hop in? Huh? Aren't you supposed to be on the other bus? As a student council president, I have the privilege to be able to get there on my own means. Now hop in. Well, it's certainly a better offer than staying in the crowded bus, but I don't really like to attract too much attention for now. Let's go with it. Alright, let's go. That's more like it. By the way, I hope you've taken the time to rest this weekend, because this week's going to be a wild. Wild? What do you mean by that? Oh, come on, don't tell me you haven't thought about it. We're going to be in a private hotel at a city near Tokyo. You can't even begin to imagine the hoops we've had to jump through to get the director to approve this, and I'm so surprised he did. That's cool and all, but I've just realized something. How old are you, and how come you're driving a car? And driving it pretty roughly too. We haven't even entered the highway yet. It's not polite to ask a lady's age, but if you must, I'm 19. And don't worry, this is my car. I haven't stolen it, and I do have a license. I knew she was in a senior year, but if she's 19, that must mean she's repeated a grade at some point before. Based on her current reputation here, I would say she must have done that in middle school. Alright, strap yourself in. We're about to enter the highway. I don't like where this is going. Oh please, a little speed won't hurt you. Man up and get ready to rock. The speed won't hurt me, but the potential fatal collision certainly will. We're going full throttle. Hold up. That's more like it. Come on, sing along. I'm on a highway to hell. Highway to... Bro, stop. She was already driving like a maniac, but now she's a maniac driving at the speed limit. I can see the other drivers' faces as we zip past them, and each shows a mixed confusion and apprehension. And who could blame them? If I saw what looked like two high schoolers on the highway driving at the speed limit, I'd be worried too. You know, I'm not in a hurry to get there, so why don't we just slow? Yeah, but I am. I still got a lot of stuff to do once we're there, so I'd like to get there quickly. I doubt her activities call for such reckless behavior. She's driving more like a father rushing to the hospital to see his pregnant wife give birth than some student with a little bit of more responsibility than others. She'd be more thankful for the service lease. After all, you not only get to enjoy VIP transport, but you get to enjoy it with me. What would I do without you? I can't thank you enough. At this point, I'm praying I get to my destination in one piece, as this isn't given anymore. I'm also wondering what kind of substance or how much caffeine it took for her to be in this state. Thankfully, we did arrive unharmed at the hotel, and much earlier than the others, although that much should be obvious. This is it. Doesn't it look accommodating? I can't quite tell. I'm still a bit dizzy from the Japanese Grand Prix we undertook to get here. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Anyway, before I get going, I have an essential bit of information for you. And what could that be? I'm going to stay in room 409 at the top floor, so don't hesitate to crash in. Oh, and unlike the common folk, we, the student council, are staying at private rooms, if you know what I mean. I don't know what kind of deals you have with the school administration, but I could swear previous council members didn't have the same privileges when you came around. There's no need to be jealous. You should be thankful I'm even letting you in. You know what? I'll even give you a key. So we're basically sharing the room now. You can really drop in whenever you like. As your humble underclassman, I find that very kind of you, Yuriko. Alright, well, I have to get going. Enjoy exploring the place before the others get here, and see you tonight. See you later. The place in itself, it's nothing too fancy, but it's clearly above the level of the usual youth hostels we are sent to. It strikes middle ground between the two, looking more like a decorated small manor. At the reception, I'm greeted by one of the front desk clerks, who looked like he was already expecting me. Welcome, since you've arrived early, you must be the student who was accompanied by the student council president, right? Yes, I am. And I asked you how you know this information. She specifically gave us word to expect someone coming in earlier, as she wanted to bring a student with her in her car. May I ask, what is your name, sir? Yes, I'm Luis. I'm in class 2C. You're staying with Mr. Kunihiko? Yes. Good. Here are your key cards. You'll be staying in room 210 on the second floor. Please be sure to give the other one to your roommate as well. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Enjoy your stay. According to the paper handed out by the administration, the bus should arrive in about half an hour. In the meantime, I decided to explore the area of this hotel, starting with the restaurant at the right. It has an odd, somewhat foreign look to all that didn't resemble what I was expecting of a restaurant hotel situated in Hakone. I can't quite pinpoint it, but I would say it's akin to something European. I then make my way across the left wing of the hotel where I discover an arcade of some sort. It has an array of different activities, including a number of machines, billiard tables, karaoke, and even bowling. I then proceed to the back of the hotel and find a private hot spring. It's now starting to look more like a small resort. It isn't open yet, but there's a sheet of paper on the wall describing the rules. Apparently in specific hours during which is reserved for males only and others for females. Based on the schedule, it changes every 3 hours until it closes at 3 a.m. and reopens at 9 a.m. It is also possible for individuals with enough money to rent it for 3 hours during which they can do whatever they want, so long as they don't damage the place. However, it is quite expensive, with the current rate being 20,000 yen per hour, which is like 6,600 yen per hour. I don't know who would pay that much just for a private hot spring session, but okay. I'm starting to hear noise of an engine in the distance closing in, so that must mean the first group has arrived. I guess I'll go greet them.
Luis, you bastard. How come you got a free ride with her? Well, we nearly died of heat stroke on that bus.
Calm down, I was just surprised as you were when she offered to drop me off by the hotel in her car. I wasn't expecting it either. But I certainly wasn't going to reject an offer like that, even if she put my life in jeopardy. I don't have fond memories of being confined in a bus with sweaty nerds for hours and, hold on. The teacher's going to announce something. Alright, I need everyone's attention. Today's program is a small tour of the hotel, and then you're free to do whatever. Please note, during the first day you are not allowed to leave the premise for any reason. But don't worry, we'll have activities and visits in the city starting tomorrow. Well, I've already done that before they arrived, so I'm free to do whatever. The all-female bus arrived shortly after. Enthusiastic as always, Natsumi can be heard from a mile away screaming about the hotel before even stepping foot inside.
Luis, I've seen you made it here before us.
Yeah, but we only just arrived. How was the trip?
Boiling hot, like me and Sayori almost died on that thing. We even brought our own hand fans, but we were still sweating like crazy.
Well, that must have been like so crazy. Anyways, do you know what room you're staying in?
Hold on, let me check. We're staying at room 319, and you?
You can find me alongside Arima at 210.
Sweet. Well, the teacher's calling us for the tour, so I'll catch you later.
See you later then. Fatigue is slowly taking me in, to the point where I can barely keep my eyes open. I track down Arima, give him the key card, and head down to my room for the first time. First order of business is to evaluate the bed, which is a lengthy evaluation. A new day arises. And that's where I'm going to end this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if I sound weird. I'm currently sick. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.